Hi, I'm Chief Mignon from the best police department in the country. I'd like to introduce Lieutenant John Costanzo, Lieutenant Kevin Ferry, the other members of our Tuckahoe Police Department, as well as our Secretary, Edith Cincione, our maintenance person, Frank, in the back there. And I'd like to say that this is such a great occasion for us this year. The village of Tuckahoe is on the move. It is the best village in the world. And we're all happy and proud to be a part of it and a part of a celebration. And I'd like to wish Tuckahoe
Happy 100th birthday, Tuckahoe!
2002 was a very, very special year for the village of Tuckahoe. And we here at the Tuckahoe Senior Center all join together and say, Happy 100th birthday!
This is the kickoff of our centennial year, and the main purpose, of course, is to thank all our volunteers for the tremendous amount of work that they've done over this past, I guess, year and a half. I have to ask the board. And I also want to thank Tim Walsh from the Fountains for sponsoring this get-together today. They're really community-minded, and he's nice enough to give us some tours of the place. And also, on the other side of Tim is the short guy, Ernie Zaki, who was our historian. And Ernie is the one that does all those nice films. And keep up the good work, Ernie. Back in the Fountains Theater, we're running a Channel 12 documentary on the marble quarries of Tuckahoe. And it'll be running continuously. And Tim will also be giving, I guess, tours for the rest of the afternoon, like for another hour or so. Sure. And of course, then you throw us out after 5.
We never throw anything.
Okay. But this is a big occasion for the village of Tuckahoe. I want to thank the two Sheilas, Sheila Clark and Sheila Marquardt, for putting this affair together this afternoon, along with Tim Walsh, who was sponsoring it all. And we do have some dignitaries. I quickly want to introduce Amy Pauling, our state legislator. Vito Pinter, our county legislator. Jim Cavanaugh just came in. Jim, good to see you. He's been working hard on the Martin Luther King breakfast there, I hear. Joe said thanks. And Rocco Cachola, our councilman. And I did see Tony Colavito. I guess he's gone. Yeah. And Vicki Ford. Oh, boy, my goodness. I can't say enough about Vicki Ford. She's been such a big help, and she's been a contributor of so many things for this centennial. Cy and Vicki, thank you so much. So again, to our volunteers, thank you so much. It is really a kickoff for what's going to be a real pleasant, beautiful year. We have a list of all the affairs that are going to take place. There's, the last count there was 18, and we picked up 2 more affairs that are going to, activities that are going to take place also in the last week. So it's not going to stop there. We're going to try to have something every couple of weeks. So enjoy the rest of the afternoon. And oh, we do have Judge Fuller here. You don't want to know him personally, but the judge is here. I introduced him to Monsignor, and the Monsignor said, "Do I know you?" I said, "You better not, because if you know him personally, you have problems." But anyway, enjoy the rest of the afternoon, and again, my thanks to all of you.
Kavanaugh, who is here with us this afternoon. Jim, thanks so much for stopping by. And what do you think of this kickoff?
I think you have just a very exciting year coming up. Let's face it, a 100th anniversary only comes around once. You guys, I think, are going to make the most of it. You've got a whole year-long of events, and we're just happy to be supportive and be there and play whatever role we can, because, again, great things are happening in the village, and this is a way to celebrate that, I think.
We thank you so much, and you are supporting us, and you are a very important part, and I thank you for coming down this afternoon. It's going to be a fun year.
Thanks.
Vicki, thank you so much for coming to our wonderful kickoff celebration. You've been such an incredible part of our celebration and working with the volunteers. I can't thank you enough, and talk a little bit about what this means to you and the fun that you've had, because I know you have.
Oh, I've loved every minute of it. Well, it all started with the Millennium Project, when we started asking for people to bring in their treasure, which was these articles and photographs. And every Thursday we would work at the village, at the town hall in Eastchester, and suddenly Alice White was getting book after book after book of wonderful documented material. And what we were saying to people was, bring it in, and if you want it back in its original form, we'll make copies for the book. Otherwise, if you want to give us your original, we'll make a copy for your family, or several copies.
And that seems like such a long time ago, right?
It does.
And it's hard to believe that there are, what, 42 volumes?
There are 42 volumes.
Oh.
And we know there'll be one more, because everything this year will go into a volume.
And you have been so wonderful with your support of our throw and the Ward House. You found artists.
Oh, yes, and we have a wonderful tour coming up, the historic tour, which is going to be done by the Eastchester Historical Society, will come and go out of the Ward House, which is a property, probably the oldest property in the entire area that's still standing and
attractive.
Very attractive. And Concordia College has offered to allow us to use it for that day. It's a special occasion, and we're going to have little tables out in the garden if it's a nice day, and serve refreshments, and welcome people. And we'll be in costume. We'll be 100 years ago. We'll seem as though it's actually happening at that moment.
And I know people are signing up very, very fast for that. I think you're going to have so many volunteers, and you're going to kind of do your own thing with costumes, which will be fun.
It will be fun. And as many people as want to join in and work with us, the merrier. It'll be great.
We just love seeing you around. We love you dearly. We really do. And you are so enthusiastic about everything. You've supported us with all of the things that we've done from the very beginning till now, and we know that you will support us right through to the end. And without you, it wouldn't seem like the Tuckahoe celebration. Thank you so much.
It's going to be a great year to remember.
Thank you, Vicki. Judge and Mrs. Fuller here this afternoon. Isn't this exciting, the kickoff of our centennial?
Well, absolutely. Isabel, why don't you say so?
No, I just saw the movie on the marble, the history of the marble in Tuckahoe, and that was very interesting.
I understand it's great. I haven't seen it yet. And isn't this facility wonderful?
Well, it's an ideal place for this. We're so glad they let us do it, and we're looking forward to this year coming, all the other great activities you plan, and thanks to you. You were one of the big ones helping in this,
Well, it's a lot of people. It's not just me, but thank you. Everybody that's here today has played a very insignificant role in all of this. Thanks for stopping by.
Okay.
This is Mrs. Nickerson, who lives right around the corner. Actually, she's right on the grounds of the fountains, and I understand you've been here for 54 years.
Exactly. Yeah.
And have you loved watching the fountains emerge, and what do you think about our celebration?
It's very nice, and it's beautiful in here.
It's pretty, isn't it?
I wouldn't mind being in here myself.
Well, listen, any day soon I might be also. So it's not a bad place to be. It's just beautiful. But we look forward to our celebration, and we hope, Mrs. Nickerson, that you'll be able to partake in some of the activities. There's a major event every month, and we're going to look forward to seeing a lot of you.
I'll try when I'm up to it, because I'm having a little trouble with my arm.
Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you.
Happy birthday, Tuckahoe. I'm Edith Fritz, and this is my husband, Ernie Fritz, an old, long-time Tuckahoe boy.
Ernie, let's hear about it.
Born in Tuckahoe.
Born in Tuckahoe.
Camera so all your friends can see you.
Big improvements.
Nice to have come too, and you know, without all of our volunteers and friends of the Village of Tuckahoe, we want the outstanding celebration that we anticipated to be. So, to make mistakes, start with Ed here and let him say hello and talk about the village a little bit.
I'm going to talk across the road, yeah.
Well, that's how far you and I go back.
Yeah, well, I know. No. It's fun working with these nice, lovely people, and my wife drags me along to all of the good places, so I don't mind that at all.
Nice people and a good village and a good cause, right?
Yeah, she's a good cook.
Well, there's a long history of Tuckahoe in my family. It's a wonderful, wonderful experience.
You've had fun.
Oh, boy, and how.
And you have a whole year to look forward to.
Oh, well, I hope I can make it.
Oh, you're going to
Thank
make
you,
it.
Sheila.
You're going to make it. Let's go over and see Bob Hunter, and we'll ask him to say a few words. Whoops. Bobby.
A few words, that's what I was asked to say. Bob, and beside me here, and we're having a lot of fun working with the Centennial Committee, and we worked on the Millennium the year before up in the town, and I hope this continues for a long time. Everyone's enjoying it. Ann, you want to say hello?
Hi, I'm Ann Hunter, and I've been really enjoying contributing the little bit that I know about Tuckahoe. I'm from the Bronx originally, but I married someone who's from the area, but I've really been enjoying it. It's been a terrific experience.
Happy birthday, Tuckahoe. Rel Mira. Virtually all of my life in this village, and as far as I'm concerned, it's the most fabulous place to live.
Hi, we're all on the Centennial Committee. This group right here is the History Committee, part of it, and we enjoy researching and looking up all the past history of Tuckahoe. And believe me, there's plenty of history in Tuckahoe. And I want to also wish Tuckahoe a wonderful 100th birthday.
Evelyn Michelle, I want to say happy birthday and all good wishes to the village of Tuckahoe. I've been living here almost 7 years.
How long? I didn't hear.
7 years.
7?
Almost.
Almost 7 years. And where are you from?
I'm from Long Island.
From Long Island. And how do you like it here?
Oh, I like it very much. I like it very much.
That's good.
Yes,
That's
wonderful.
It's good to see you, and thanks for coming. And thanks for your involvement. Okay? And this is the lady with the pretty lady with the gray hair who belongs to the handsome gent across the way with the gray hair.
Hi. My name is Ann Mira, and I'm on the committee for the Centennial, and I want to wish Tuckahoe a very happy birthday.
Thank you, everybody. And how about over here? Can we have a word from you?
Hi, my name is Kay, and I'm a resident of this, well, place, and thank you for the very nice party.
To 5 p.m. This is Carl Kessler reporting for WVOX.
We're here at the Community Center on Columbus Avenue, and today we're having our history display of memorabilia. It's articles, photos, and items that were picked up through the last year or so. And we have here one of the teachers at Tuckahoe High School. And your name?
Nancy Cabeza.
Oh, Nancy. What class do you teach?
I teach AP U.S. History and Global History freshman year.
Mm-hmm. Do they also get into local history?
I try to in U.S. History. The students are teaching me a lot about Tuckahoe history since I'm not from the area.
Where are you
so
from?
I'm learning this year. I'm from the Bronx, New York, Bronx.
Oh, they make some of our best residents.
Yes, yes.
Well, looking at their activity and their interest, they seem very much interested in the history of Tuckahoe High School.
Yes, they are. Adding students, I think, when they like to look at old yearbooks and how the school was built and what the school was like, and I guess maybe envision them back at that time.
Yeah. We have some of the first photos of Tuckahoe High School. I think it was opened in 1930, and we made a reproduction and sent it up to the high school.
Also on the school's website, they have a brief history of Tuckahoe High School and how it came about, and that it was on a previous racetrack. So the students are aware of a lot of the history of Tuckahoe.
What grade is this?
This is 11th graders, they're juniors.
Mm-hmm. So they're looking forward to graduation next year, huh?
Yes, they are.
When do they get their rings?
I'm not exactly sure. I believe it's spring of this year that they get it.
Oh, that's great.
Yes.
Would you like to introduce us to some of the students?
Sure. Hi, this is Nora. Say hello, Nora. Hi. This is Sam. Hi. They're juniors at Tuckahoe High School. What are you looking up? What are you looking up?
Old, what is this?
This was Veterans Day or Memorial Day or something.
Parades in Tuckahoe, yeah.
This is Mike. He's also a junior at Tuckahoe High School. Mike Fulvio.
Hi.
What are you looking up?
Right now I was just looking up about Tuckahoe's marble quarry history and how it used to be the marble capital of the world.
Thank you.
This is one of my favorite books. This is from World War II, for boys that fought it. A number of them have passed away, killed in the war. This one right after the war, the plane crash in the Alps. What is it? Tom Brokaw called it The Greatest Generation?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And recently we dedicated a monument to the Gold Star Mother. You may find some of your grandparents in this. I'm here with Patrick Juliano, who claims he's going to be the next mayor of the village of Tuckahoe, which is all right. It's time that I retired, right?
Yeah. Not yet. You have many more years left.
Patrick, what did you think of our display here today?
It's an interesting display, and a lot of it from watching Ernie Zaki's My Tuckahoe, you can, and look down Main Street in Columbus Avenue, you can actually picture where these buildings were and what they were used for. And it's just amazing at all the history and how much our village has changed over the years.
I think the students seem to be very much interested in the history of Tuckahoe High School. Did you get to see that?
I looked at it, and it's amazing if you see the difference in uniforms, the difference of how people dressed back then, and how the teachers looked. It's amazing, the whole entire history.
We have better than 60 subjects here, each subject in its own little book. And then over at the other side of the room, we have a lot of memorabilia, including our trolley bell.
Yeah, I heard the bell going off all day long. And I'm glad you're having a fair like this, because I don't think many people know how much history is here in Tuckahoe with the marble quarry. Tuckahoe's the marble capital of the world. And there's so much history, and there's not enough time to enjoy it.
Well, even the building, as the students come in, I remind them that the building is dedicated to Milt Gibbons, a former mayor of the village of Tuckahoe, and he started the Police Athletic League. And, of course, when we dedicated the building, New York City sent up a nice plaque.
Right. Yeah, not many people know that the PAL League, the PAL is a league that was started in Tuckahoe, but it's very widely used in New York City, and not many people know that. And it's pretty good that we have a fair like this. People are at home and they would like to come learn about Tuckahoe. More than welcome to come here. It's very interesting.
Well, pleased to have you. And what class of this do we have now?
We have Miss Heinzen's 11th grade history class and seniors in it. And we also have Mr. Christie's freshman global history class.
Do they all have their class rings now?
No. Juniors get theirs this year, and that's when you get your rings, junior year.
Well, it's good having you here, and please circulate and look at all the books.
Oh, thank you, Mayor White.
Thank you.
I'm Patrick Juliano here at the History Fair at the Community Center. Joining me is the Tuckahoe High School Guidance Counselor, Vito Pinto. Mr. Pinto?
Patrick, how are you?
Good.
Thank you.
You've been at Tuckahoe for how long?
Well, I'm completing my 32nd year, but if you count the years I went to school there, then, you'd have to say I had 12 years of school between Main Street and Tuckahoe High School, so 13, actually. I did go to kindergarten, but no, it's just been a long history.
Can you talk about some of the history over here? We have about...
these are some of the bottles, and then we have the yearbooks, and, people have to understand that we do have every yearbook up at the high school in the library. We have the history of the school, when it was built and why it was built. But I think Tuckahoe's history goes farther farther back than that. But we have some bottles from the Old Boroughs Welcome, from some of the soda plants. We have the Bronx River Parkway Reservation, which is still an historic reservation today, something that the county works on very clearly. This was one of the early guides to the Bronx River Parkway Reservation. Presently up in the county, my other job as county legislator, I worked very closely on the Bronx River Parkway Reservation. We had Kate Karski, who just recently completed many, many years as a county legislator from Yonkers, who was very involved in the Bronx River Reservation. So that's very dear to our hearts, and we have a lot of people now working on it. We'll reach out to the school kids. Hopefully they'll get involved, but right now we're going to dredge the lakes this year. But this is just history. Look at the pictures of the football teams, the pictures of Tuckahoe, what it was when I was a kid. Believe it or not, I do remember a lot of the buildings in the early 40s and through my early years in Tuckahoe, growing up, going to Main Street School. So I thought this would afford a great opportunity. Mayor White and his wife Alice, who are certainly the stalwarts in leading this committee, and the many volunteers we've had on this Centennial Committee have done an outstanding job. If you look at the calendar, if you look at the book, the history, if you look at the memorabilia gathered today, this is an outstanding opportunity for our young kids to become involved and to learn their history. And there was no better way to do it than to just bring them right down here and have a class down here.
All right, thank you, Mr. Pinto.
Thank you, Patrick. I appreciate it. And thanks certainly to the Village of Tuckahoe for all they're doing to gather our history and make this centennial memorable.
Joining me now is Jean Heinzen, a history teacher at Tuckahoe High School. Ms. Heinzen?
Hello.
Being a history teacher, what do you think of the history of Tuckahoe?
Well, I'm not originally from the area, so it's really interesting to look through the pictures, and we just actually saw the senior prom. I don't know what year it was, but it was $2.50 per couple with an orchestra, so we would just laugh and saying now I think it's $250 for a couple, and of course they have DJs and rock bands, so it's just kind of cool to look around and see what the town used to be like and what it's like today, so it's neat.
Have you found anything interesting in here besides the
prom? I saw the price for cars were only about $1,000 in 1929, I think, for a new car, which again is, I think you get not such a nice car around now, and just seeing the old pictures and the way the town has changed is just, it's incredible. But like I said, since I'm not from around here, it's just more like, wow. So.
Well, thank you. I hope you enjoy yourself. Joining me now is another history teacher from Tuckahoe High School, Mr. Lyra Christie. Mr. Christie, thank you for joining me. Being a history teacher, what do you think of the history display we have here?
Well, the great old photographs of Tuckahoe and the area really bring this history thing alive for the students and myself, who can imagine what life was like and really appreciate the heritage that's part of the Tuckahoe Village.
And I know from being in your class, you talk much about the architecture of Tuckahoe High School. Can you talk about that a little?
Well, everyone knows that this was once the marble capital of the world, and some of the great buildings throughout America. If you look real closely, there'll be a sign that says Tuckahoe Marble. In fact, I was at the Metropolitan Museum of Art less than 2 weeks ago, and the old facade of the Bank of New York in the American wing, if you look real closely, it says Tuckahoe Marble. So we're well represented throughout the world. It's great.
And the building of the high school, can you talk about the architecture of the Tuckahoe High School itself?
It's a great architecture. It's kind of an Art Deco piece, and there's a lot of craftsmanship and workmanship and a lot of love that went into that building. It's not cement blocks. It's people had real pride in their work, and if you walk into the building, you'll see the Art Deco work, and we're even working on revitalizing the original colors of the work that was in the foyer. It's a beautiful building. It's well made, and it's a special place.
Thank you, Mr. Christie. Enjoy yourself today. Joining me now are two Tuckahoe High School freshmen, Francine Diazo and Jennifer Joni. Francine and Jen, what do you think of the history of Little Tuckahoe?
It's cool after you think about it. I mean, it's just different.
I just never pictured Tuckahoe really looking like this. Like, I just forgot that Tuckahoe was history, and I just never thought differently of it.
How long have you been living in Tuckahoe?
All my life.
About 11 years.
And what do you think of the improvements that have been made to Tuckahoe, especially at Main Street, with the new architecture?
They're a lot better. Everything's more organized and set.
I think it looks really nice.
And being only once in a blue moon does Hollywood ever come to Tuckahoe, what did you think of the movie in Tuckahoe?
Oh, that was great. It was a really good experience.
It was nice that they actually came to Tuckahoe because Tuckahoe is not really known, and it just gave us something to look forward to every night when we went to the tapings.
Now, does the history of Tuckahoe make you think of Tuckahoe differently now?
Kind of, just the structure and the architecture and stuff like that.
Yeah, it does, because now if I walk down the street, like, I'll, like, picture, like, look into the books, I'll picture all the old things that were there.
All right, thank you, and have a good day, and enjoy going back to class.
Thanks.
Joining me is a freshman from Tuckahoe High School, Billy Verno. Billy, what do you think of our history here in Tuckahoe?
Oh, it's pretty amazing. I mean, I've been looking at some of the stuff, and it's pretty weird looking.
What are some of the things you've been looking at?
I've been looking at the old yearbooks and stuff, and just seeing how like the people dressed and stuff. It's pretty weird.
Can you point out anything that you find weird?
Like the cheerleading squad. I mean, there are like 7 people on it. It's not real cheerleading.
And that's our golf team. This is the old Tuckahoe yearbook?
Yeah.
And this is our old football team?
They didn't even wear like big things. It's just like heavy sweatshirts.
What else do we have here? We have our basketball team and our baseball team, and you can see the difference from uniforms then and now, and the difference in uniforms as well with our basketball. And is that our high school gym?
Yeah.
And that's probably the same baskets that are up.
Most likely.
So are you enjoying yourself today?
Oh, yeah, it's pretty good to get out of class.
Yeah. Thank you, Billy. Enjoy yourself.
Have a good day, Pat.
Well, I hope you enjoy your stay here.
Saturday afternoon at the Tuckahoe Community Center, and we have our historic exhibit here today, and I'd like to introduce you to some of our committee. This is Jeff Zuckerman, who also, with his wife Claire Gorman, that wrote this wonderful book, and we thank you for all the efforts that you put into this. And over here we have Anita, who's one of our volunteers, and Diane, one of our volunteers. Hello. And we'll walk around and say hello to some of the others. Okay, I'd like to introduce you to 2 more members of our history committee. This is Bob Hunter and his wife Ann Hunter, who are very faithful. They come every week to help us collect all the memorabilia and to put things. They even go on strike sometimes. That's right. I'd like to introduce you to another member of our history committee, Ernie Fritz. And this is Vicki Ford, who has been a big help to us through all our projects. Would you like to say a few words?
Well, I'm really happy to be here. This is a good turnout for the history review, and I understand all the students came yesterday on Friday. And, of course, we want them to understand the history because they'll carry on and keep coming back. And that's the most important thing we can do is plant those seeds for the future.
Yes.
But there's some wonderful events coming forward, and the one I'm working on right now is the tour of Tuckahoe, which will take place in May. And we'll be stationed up at Ward House, serving tea and lemonade and cookies and wonderful things after people tour Tuckahoe. And we will be in old-fashioned outfits, the Gibson girl look. And right now, I know my friend Kathy Kennedy is sewing up a storm. She's got about 10 skirts she's working on, and we may get some more volunteers besides that. So we have an event every month, don't we, for the Centennial?
Yes, we do.
It's great.
And I'm looking forward to this event at the Ward House that Vicki's putting together. She's doing a great job. Thank you, Vicki.
The committee's done a very nice job with the work that's accomplished.
Nancy, I'm a new resident of Tuckahoe, about 3 years. I came across this picture, and this is supposed to be my brother-in-law's family's business, Tuckahoe Roofing. He told me to look for a trademark on the building of the airplane. And I found this picture, and I'm going to give it to him.
Oh, how wonderful.
They are still in business, but their office is in Yonkers off of Ashburn Avenue. And his name is Richard Nugent.
Oh,
and they have a worldwide business now. And they're doing very well. But they started in Tuckahoe, in a little village.
Well, thank you very much for coming
Oh, you're
today.
quite welcome. This is purposely what I came for, to see if I could find a picture.
And thank you for sharing that story.
Oh,
That's
it's
wonderful.
quite welcome. It's a happy story, and anyway.
Great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Okay, this gentleman is with the zoning board in the village of Tuckahoe. Would you tell the people your name?
Luigi Marcocha.
And what do you think about this exhibit today?
I think it's great, you know, get to see a little bit of Tuckahoe's history.
Have you lived in the village a long time?
My whole life, about 30 years now, almost 31. Oh, and a friend of mine just saw a picture of us when we were younger, playing basketball at the Parkway Oval.
Oh, great.
He's just sort of showing me. And we're having a great time.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for coming and sharing with us.
You're welcome.
In here, there were doors. In other words, each door was a room.